On today's video, guys, we're going to be covering the most critical, devastating mistakes people make when selling their gear on Reverb. Before we get started, thank you guys so much for joining me today. If this is your first time visiting the channel, be sure to check out the full library of content. As a longtime musical gear enthusiast, we've got a lot of great stories to share, so make sure to check those out and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, so first and foremost, one of the biggest issues I see with bad Reverb listings is people taking absolutely terrible photos. I'm talking bad lighting, out of focus. You've got just all kinds of household clutter in the background. There's nothing worse than seeing some dirty guitar laying on somebody's bed, or maybe they've got like their kids like stuffed animals in the background. It just looks cluttered and unorganized, and it doesn't invite the viewer to come in to really check out your listing and help improve their appetite to buy. It's also extremely important to make sure that you show all of the different angles for the item. You want to show the front of the guitar, the side, the back, show the headstock, show those high contact areas. You also need to showcase any potential defects or blemishes. Any type of imperfection needs to be super clear so there's no surprises when your buyer goes to unbox the guitar. If you guys are struggling to get clear photos for your gear listings, definitely check out some tutorials on YouTube. There's a lot of free resources here as far as just kind of learning the basics of getting things in focus, your exposure, your colors, lots and lots of tutorials out there. So make sure to check some of those out if you're struggling to photograph your gear. Next on the list, guys, inaccurate condition ratings. This is pretty critical. Remember, when it comes to the condition of something used condition is very subjective. Some people are definitely going to nitpick more than others. Make sure to take the time to carefully review the Reverb condition guide, everything from mint, excellent, very good, fair, etc. You want to make sure that you have a fair understanding of all of these different condition ratings. When in doubt, I would err on the side of caution. If you're looking between, say, mint and excellent, if you have to really think about it, I would play it safe and go excellent, just as an example. You never know how picky the potential buyer is going to be. So the last thing you want is some guy throwing a tantrum over some minute micro scratch on the back of a guitar. Always be transparent with your listings and make sure you have a good understanding of the condition rating guide. Moving on to our next point, guys, bad listing descriptions. I see this all the time. The description needs to be very clear and concise. You want to have all of your manufactured specs for the item that you're listing. Don't ramble on with irrelevant personal details. I see this all the time. One of the worst possible things you could put in a listing description is some rambling story about how you're selling it to offset bills or to get caught up, thinning out the herd. You know, I got to fix my car. Don't post these things in your descriptions. This kind of stuff totally screams desperation, guys. You're going to get a flurry of nonsense, lowball offers. You're going to waste your time, and you're definitely going to lose money when it comes to selling the gear. If you want top dollar for your listing, definitely don't put this kind of stuff in the description. Leading into our next point here, guys, when it comes to offers, and you want to make sure that you do allow people to make offers on your gear. The reason for this is because when you don't enable offers, what you're basically saying is there is absolutely no wiggle room and you're going to deter a lot of potential buyers. In human psychology, people always want to feel like they're getting a little bit of a deal, right? They want to feel like there's some wiggle room. Even if your bottom dollar in your mind is only maybe $50 or $100 less than what you have the item listed for, that $50 can make the difference between someone buying something and not. So always make sure to allow people to submit offers. Again, that $50 to $100 really can make a difference. Now, getting into shipping, you always want to make sure to offer shipping with these listings. Now, I know a lot of people, they want the convenience, they want a face-to-face transaction, looking like your old days of some kind of Craigslist ad. But in this modern digital world that we live in, you're always going to want to increase the visibility of your gear. So you want to reach as many people as possible. You're going to want to make sure you offer shipping. Now, if you decide you want to offer local pickup, that's going to come down to the person if you are comfortable in doing so. You want to make sure that you obviously follow all safe practices when making any kind of face-to-face deal when it comes to Craigslist or Marketplace, OfferUp, any of these kind of services. Now, when it comes to shipping, let's go ahead and run through a couple more tips here. Number one, don't overcharge shipping. Remember, you want your potential buyer to focus on the value of the gear itself. You don't want to be diluting the value of your goods by getting them confused between the price of the guitar and shipping. So never ever overcharge shipping. It's just not a good look. Now, when it comes time to pack up and ship your gear, always make sure to take advantage of the Reverb label discount by getting the label directly through Reverb. This is gonna save you a lot of money. If you go to like a UPS or a FedEx location, if you do everything through them, you're more than likely gonna spend a lot more money. So in order to maximize your payout, always take advantage of savings with the Reverb label. Always pack up the gear in an appropriate box. Lots of padding, lots of bubble wrap, get some paper in there. You wanna make sure that everything is going to be packed up safely. The last thing you want is a customer to receive a damaged guitar. That's gonna turn into a huge fiasco when it comes to filing damage claims. It's really gonna be a huge headache. So again, make sure you've got lots of bubble wrap, lots of foam in there, get your paper, get a good quality box. Something else I would also recommend, take a picture of the box before you drop it off with the carrier. That way, if by chance there is some type of damage during the shipping process, you can prove during a claim that, hey, this is the condition which it was dropped off in, and here's what it looks like in the hands of the receiver. So I hope you guys find this information helpful. Again, this is coming from years of personal experience buying and selling guitars on Reverb. Very important to make sure that you follow this process to ensure the best possible outcome when selling your gear. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below your experience buying and selling if you found this information helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Gonna have a lot more future content to look forward to. Thank you guys as always. I'll be sure to see you all in the next one. Have a great day.